Okay, let's start with maybe a reflection. Think back for a moment, if you would, to a time in your life when you went through something really challenging, a genuine hardship.
Hmm.
What did that experience, what did it reveal to you? About your own inner strength, maybe. Or perhaps about what you truly believe deep down.
That's a powerful starting point. And, that very question gets right to the core of what we're exploring today.
Right.
This whole idea that life's difficulties, the really hard stuff, can actually function like like a refiner's fire.
Refining, meaning
Hmm.
it strengthens and reveals the true essence, the real nature of our faith. And our character, too.
Exactly. It burns away the superficial, potentially. And to really get a handle on this, we're going to look at a couple of very real, very powerful examples. We'll talk
Yeah.
about a couple in Ukraine navigating life right in the midst of war, unimaginable for many of us.
Truly.
And then closer to home, perhaps, here in the U.S., the journey of a man who faced a really serious, life-threatening illness.
3 different situations,
Yeah.
obviously.
Completely different. Yet both stories offer this compelling look at how these intense fires, these trials, can shape us in really profound ways.
And this idea isn't new, is it? This concept of trials refining faith. It has, well, deep roots.
Oh, absolutely. You can look at, for instance, the words in 1 Peter chapter 1, verses 6 and 7.
Right. Remind us what that says.
Well, it speaks directly about genuine faith being more precious than gold, which perishes even though it's refined by fire.
More precious than gold.
Yes, and that these trials, these difficulties, they happen so that the proven genuineness of your faith might result in praise and glory and honor when Jesus Christ is revealed.
So there's a purpose stated right there. It's not just random suffering. It leads somewhere.
Precisely. The idea is that these trials aren't meaningless. They have a valuable intended outcome, the revealing of authentic faith.
Okay, let's dig into that comparison a bit more. Gold. We know, or most people know, that to purify gold, you need intense heat.
Right.
And that fire burns away the dross, the impurities, right? Leaving behind only the pure, valuable metal.
Exactly. And that image, the fire, it's so key here because, let's be honest, the process is intensely uncomfortable. It can be painful.
Of course, nobody enjoys the fire itself.
No. But its purpose ultimately is transformative. Just like fire doesn't actually destroy the gold, it purifies it, makes it more valuable. The idea is that difficulties can purify and strengthen our faith.
So it's not just about gritting your teeth and getting through it.
Not at all. It's about what those tough times do within us, the internal change.
So are you saying these challenges act as a kind of test? A way to really see what our faith is, well, made of?
You could definitely see it that way, like a litmus test, It reveals the true nature of something. Trials can reveal the true nature of our faith.
Know where the weak spots might be?
Exactly. Where are the weaknesses, the areas that maybe need purifying, strengthening? The sheer intensity of a struggle can bring those right to the surface. But I think even more importantly, it's in the navigating of these difficult moments, when we actively have to rely on our beliefs, lean into our faith. That's when it's actually refined. It becomes more resilient. That trust in God we talk about, it isn't just some abstract concept then. It becomes something real, something forged in the heat of those hard-won experiences.
And we can see this playing out in the story you mentioned, the couple in Ukraine.
Oh, absolutely. Their story is incredibly powerful. I mean, facing the reality of war, the destruction of their home,
Yeah.
everything they knew just completely upended.
It's a level of adversity that's hard for many of us to even truly comprehend.
It really is. But their experience offers such a profound insight. Even with all that chaos, the rebuilding, the uncertainty, they intentionally, deliberately turned to worship.
Worship in the middle of all that.
Yes, as a source of stability, something unwavering they could hold on to when everything else was shaking. And what's truly remarkable, what they share, is their belief that they came out of those intense trials, not shattered, but with a stronger faith. And interestingly, a deeper love and bond with each other.
Stronger faith and a deeper love. After losing so much, that's quite something. How do you find that strength to worship amidst ruins?
It speaks volumes, doesn't it, about the anchoring power of their faith. It wasn't just a fair-weather belief.
Clearly not.
Yeah.
Then we have the other story, the man here in the U.S. facing a life-threatening illness. A different kind of fire, maybe more internal.
Yes, a different kind of intense pressure. That internal battle for survival, the uncertainty, the fear.
And his response was also quite telling.
Equally revealing, I think. During his recovery, which was likely long and difficult, he started journaling, just writing down his thoughts, his feelings, his struggles.
Processing it.
Exactly. But then that act of personal reflection, it evolved. It became something more. First, a source of comfort for himself, but then he actually turned it into a devotional.
A devotional. For others.
Yes, specifically for other hospital patients facing similar health crises, sharing his journey, his insights,
That's incredible, turning his pain into help for others.
and his perspective on it all was fascinating. He said that the fire of his illness, it didn't break him. Instead, he felt it revealed something deeper about God, about his unwavering nature, his presence, even in the worst of it.
It sounds like the hardship stripped away everything superficial.
That's a great way to put it, leaving only the essential truths, the core of his faith and his understanding of God.
Now, thinking about both these stories, these intense experiences, it strikes me that, well, we don't choose these things, do we? We don't seek out war or illness.
No, absolutely not. And that's a really crucial point to grasp here. The scriptures, the whole idea, isn't about inviting hardship or seeking out trials.
Okay.
The emphasis is much more on our response. How do we react? Where do we place our trust when those inevitable challenges, big or small, come our way?
So we don't choose the fire.
We don't choose the fire, but we can choose how we walk through it. And maybe, in doing so, discover a deeper reliance, a deeper trust in God than we knew we had.
Which kind of leads to this powerful understanding. That hardship, that pain, it doesn't automatically mean we've been abandoned or forgotten.
Exactly. It can actually be seen perhaps as evidence of something else entirely, part of a deeper refining process.
So these difficult times aren't just random, meaningless events blowing through our lives.
They don't have to be viewed that way. They can be seen as evidence of God's refining work, something that ultimately serves to reveal the genuineness of our faith, to purify it, and in the end, to strengthen the very foundations we stand on.
Reveal, purify, strengthen.
Those three things: reveal what's really there, refine it by removing the weaknesses or impurities, and reinforce it, making it more resilient for the future.
So if we were to boil it down, the core message is really that these challenging times, these trials by fire, they aren't meant to destroy us.
Not at all. The intention, from this perspective, is to refine our faith, to deepen our dependence on something or someone greater than ourselves.
Right.
So even when you're right in the thick of it, feeling that overwhelming pressure, the pain, there can be a profound purpose unfolding. A process of purification, of strengthening, that ultimately reveals the enduring, authentic nature of your faith.
Which brings us back really to where we started. As we kind of wrap up this conversation, I want to bring that initial question back to you, the listener. Consider, just once more, a time in your own life when you faced a significant hardship, a real challenge. In light of what we've talked about, what, if anything, did that experience ultimately reveal to you about your inner strength, about what you truly deeply believe?
Perhaps looking back now through this lens of refinement.
Exactly. Perhaps reflecting on those fires, big or small, we can start to recognize the enduring strength, maybe even a refined beauty that can emerge right through them, something to ponder.